Hi, I'm Andy Temte, and welcome to the Saturday Morning Muse. Start your weekend with musings that are designed to support your journey of personal and professional continuous improvement. Today is February the 8th, 2025. Over the past few weeks, I've been talking about what success means and the ingredients to achieving success, no matter how success is defined by you. Of the key ingredients to success, the one that stands out as being the most problematic for us is financial literacy. I contend that financial literacy is an essential skill to support any success journey. But financial literacy rates, especially here in the United States, are shockingly low. So to be clear, the goal of today's Muse is to show the interconnectedness between financial literacy and the definition of success. To begin the conversation, I encourage you to visit the Global Financial Literacy Excellence Center, and I've included a link in the show notes on my website here, and I'd like you to review their most recent research on financial literacy. Now, they have this thing called the Personal Finance Index, also known as the PFIN Index, and it's a measure of financial knowledge and literacy in the United States. This same organization also measures a concept that they refer to as retirement fluency. Now, this PFIN index, it measures financial literacy across a set of 28 questions that they've asked of all survey respondents. In 2024, only 48% of respondents got more than 50% of index questions correct. Only 16% of respondents scored a 76% or greater on the test. Now, close your eyes and imagine the uproar that we'd have if a high school or college class generated outcomes where only 16% of the class received a C or better. That's essentially what we're talking about here. If we imagine for a moment that 50% is an F or a failing grade, then 52% of the class would have flunked. Now, to cross-check our numbers with another survey on the global stage, Standard & Poor's has their Global Financial Literacy Survey, and that showed that Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, they led the way with 71% financial literacy rates. Canada and Israel were tied for fourth at 68%, and according to this survey, the United States doesn't even rank in the top 10 countries. Unfortunately, this study is over 10 years old and was issued back in 2014. Back then, 57% of adults in the United States were deemed to be financially literate. So our cross-check confirms that the U.S. adults lag behind their wealthy nation peers, and our scores have deteriorated a lot over the last decade, from 57% down to 48%. Now, going back to our PFIN index and taking a look at performance across demographic subgroups, first, men significantly outperformed women in the survey. Only 39% of women scored a 50% or better, whereas 56% of men had a score of 50% or higher. Second, demographic results were that racial differences were also stark, with only 28% of Black and Hispanic respondents scoring 50% or higher on the test. Third, looking across generations, only 29% of Gen Z respondents, the youngest group, scored 50% or higher, compared with millennials at 43%, Gen X at 52%, and baby boomers clocking in at 57% of respondents scoring 50% or higher. So there is definitely a positive correlation between age and financial literacy. Not surprisingly, though, The patterns that we've talked about are also evident in the retirement fluency results. So seniors do not in any way, shape, or form have it all figured out. Now, let's dig a little bit deeper on our way toward today's goal of correlating success with financial literacy. The PFIN index does a nice job of connecting the dots between financial literacy and financial well-being. The big headlines here are that those who are in the bottom 25% of survey respondents, called the bottom quartile, are, number one, debt constrained at twice the rate as those who are in the top 25% of respondents. Here, debt constraint means that accumulated debt and debt payments prevent a respondent from achieving other financial priorities. Next, the bottom 25% of survey respondents are financially fragile at 3.5 times the rate as those in the top 25% of respondents. Here, financial fragility is measured by the likelihood that a respondent could come up with $2,000 for an unexpected expenditure within a month. Next, the bottom 25% of survey respondents are not able to cover a month of living expenses in an emergency situation at a rate that's 4 times that of the top 25% of respondents. And finally, the bottom 25% of respondents are more than 3 times more likely to lack the confidence that they'll have enough saved for retirement as compared to the top 25% of respondents. So, why am I spending so much time musing about financial literacy? Because it matters. The data show clearly that investments in financial literacy lead to improved financial well-being and vice versa. Financial well-being, or the lack thereof, is correlated with mental health and the health of our most important relationships. According to a 2023 survey conducted by Forbes Advisor, 54% of respondents indicated that they always or often feel stressed about the debt that they've accumulated. 60% of respondents who have experienced some level of financial stress indicated that this led to disagreements in their relationships, and 55% said that it resulted in a loss of trust with loved ones. Now, a whopping 72% of respondents reported that when they're stressed about money, they're somewhat or very likely to accumulate more debt, creating a vicious negative debt cycle. Finally, a March 2024 study by Bankrate showed that 47% of respondents indicated that money has a negative impact on their mental health. And a 2019 survey by the same organization showed that 56% of respondents lose sleep at night over money-related challenges. So there you have it. Our result today is that improved financial literacy leads to improved financial well-being, which leads to improved overall mental well-being and health. The bottom line is that financial literacy and success are indeed tightly interrelated, not because success is equated with having a big pile of money, which for some people it is, but because financial literacy is an enabler for living the life that you want to lead. A life in which you can live your purpose and pursue a vision for your future that aligns with a one-size-fits-you definition of success. I wish you grace, dignity, and compassion. Next week, we are going to talk about the preconditions for financial literacy. And as you might guess, we're going to talk a lot more in the coming weeks about financial literacy because it is so important to the success of you as a citizen, the community that you live in, and our great nation. So, my name is Andy Temte. This is the Saturday Morning Muse. You can find us on all the major streaming services as well as out on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, rate, and most importantly, share this public good with your friends, your neighbors, your family members, and your colleagues. The show is produced by Nicholas Temte. We'll see you next time on the Saturday Morning Muse.